What up, you crack whores? Welcome back to another video. Ragdoll2277. Today, we are discussing something that we have yet to discuss. And before I say this, I'm going to give you the warning I give in my other videos. These are controversial arguments, so if you are easily offended or don't like hearing other people's opinions, I say get the fuck out of here because you don't belong here, okay? Just kidding. Stay on the channel. I need subs. Alright. Got stuff stuck in my throat. Alright. Today we're talking about presidency. Yes, presidents. The one thing that rules the USA. And I know I usually talk about this as more American-based things, but that's where I keep my knowledge up in, because that's where I live. Alright. First thing first, I know I need to get this way out. I know I need to get this out of the way. And that's the fact that my very favorite president is William Howard Taft. I just want to get that out of the way before I start talking about presidents and legit bashing them and their mothers. He is my favorite president, but that's for one reason, and that's because he was the very first president to ever get stuck in a presidential bathtub, which is why the bathtub is now huge. On that note, today we're going to be discussing presidents now and the past, reasons they got elected, and some of their history, because I like to go in there, and history time with Ragdoll is always a good time. You know it. Alright, first off, we are going to be talking about our current president, Donald J. Trump. The Trumpster, the man I follow his Twitter. I like to keep up on current events in the newspaper. I hear about him left, right, left, right, left, right. Well, here's my opinion, because again, some of this history videos, some of these informational videos will be opinion-based, but factual at the same time. So don't just like, oh, these are opinions, fuck you, you don't know history. No, that's not what I'm saying. I am saying that there is actual information. Alright. President Trump. So far in office, he has managed to bomb more places than like the last two presidents combined. He has managed to be in an argument with a dictator that kind of represents himself, and he's also to lower the state debt and all that. Well, the economy's never been doing better, but I have to say, people who talk about Trump or talk bad about Trump, like, he's not my president, they drive me nuts. They're pussies. They don't pay attention. You can't say that he's not your president, because he is, and if you don't like it and you don't think he's your president, then get out of here. I'm not saying like you're not allowed to voice your opinion, but you are not allowed to say he is not your president, because he is your president and you're in his country that he rules at the moment. We like to think we're free. The government runs it, which means the leader of the government, which is our president, Donald J. Trump, is your president. So if you say he's not your president, you could go and shove that statement up your ass. Alright. He is my second favorite president. The reason for that is most presidents are trained, they're brought up, they've been taught to talk in a certain manner. They're supposed to hide their opinions at best, keep the fate of the people at heart, and also talk about things that will throw you off of controversial topics at the moment because they don't want to be, boom, in the spotlight. This man is not afraid to voice his opinion. Obviously, we've seen that through his Twitter account, his candidacy, and his presidency. I can't speak words today. And we have seen all forms of this. And also, he gets things done. I'll put it like that. He said he's going to build the wall. He's been fighting for the wall. He's been trying to get the wall. He's trying to get things done. He heard that there was a battle out in Afghanistan, and he bombed it to high hell. I know that's probably not the best solution, but we said for him to get things done however he sees fit, because we voted people who will vote him into office, because we vote for people who will vote for us, because they're professionals who will actually look into it. Well, they voted him in for a reason. They said, solve this however you see fit. But there was a few guidelines. And he followed the guidelines, and he solved it how he saw fit. And he's not worse than Obama, okay? Obama drove me nuts. he was the ultimate Democrat. He was the in-between ground. Like, if... I don't know how to describe it. He was like Trump. He was wildly disliked, and he stated his opinions, but he didn't get crap done. And the reason that they're close to alike. And the only reason people didn't talk crap about Obama that much, or even complained about him remotely, was because of the color of his skin. Because at the time, even now, race is a little bit of a controversial topic that will drive tension into your room faster than you think. Other words, yes. 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 Sorry about the multiple about yeses. I thought somebody came around, and also I wanted to get a drink. Throat was getting parched from all the screaming. Alright, next on the list, because since we're starting from future down, let's talk about one of the most known ones. And yes, this president you may know because he basically presidented around the 9/11 thing. George Bush. Yes, George Bush. Everybody knows our good old Georgie boy as president from Texas. And I would like to go into great detail about his campaign and this, that, and the other, but the truth is, his entire campaign, his entire fight, the whole thing was basically parading around 9/11. Put fear in the eyes of everybody and say, we can solve this, I can solve this, vote me in, and I will do all these great things. Trust me, we will solve this. Am I looking? Yeah. But that was basically his entire argument, because he believes that if you fear people, then they will definitely vote you. Which who would have thought it actually worked? And then, just a string of bad decisions. So bad decisions. Next is our boy, Bill Clinton. Yes, Bill Clinton. Where to start? He is one of the more wildly liked presidents, not because of the way he ran, because he did run pretty good. I'll give that to him. He wasn't like one of the really bad ones. But the reason people liked him so much was because he was different. And when I mean different, I don't mean like he was like weird and outgoing like Donald Trump, but he was cool. He played jazz, he had a concert with Michael Jackson, he did things with the public, and eventually had an affair with his wife, who we all hate, Hillary Clinton, with Monica Lewinsky in the White House office. And yeah, there's a stain on the dress, a whole controversial thing. And my opinion on him is he was alright. I mean, he didn't take any drastic measures, but at the same time, he didn't really take away anything. So it was kind of a neutral ground. Next on the list. Alright. Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, I skipped quite a few, but that's mainly because stop, not Abraham Lincoln. Let's go up a little more. Nixon. Yes, Nixon. Our good old President Nixon, who actually was president for about a year or two before he resigned from office, because who would have thought we elected somebody bad? He was more of a Donald Trump type. He spoke his mind. He told people what he wanted, and he said he was going to get things done. Well, apparently, he was getting things done with the election because there's the whole Watergate scandal, and they were like, oh, if you did this, we're going to have to impeach you. And what says guilty more than I have to resign now because they say they'll impeach me if they catch me at this, to avoid being the first impeached president. But don't get confused. Most people say he's the first president ever to get impeached. He is not. There's two presidents that got impeached. They say he did, but he really resigned. And the second one, I don't really know. Now, back. JFK. JFK was his family had strong Irish blood in them. They were Catholic. They were raised up and groomed to be president. Well, sadly, back then, they had a thing they called the Kennedy curse, where everybody in their family just eventually had the worst luck of their life. And for JFK, that meant a bullet through a head during a parade. Yes, this man who helped the Vietnam War, no, he did the Cuban Missile Crisis, and oh, what is it? It's stuck there. I can feel it. What was it called? It was like the Bay of something. Oh, it's gonna bother me now that I forgot it. But he dealt with a lot of crap. And he was doing a parade one day. It was viewed on live television when he was sniped down and the bullet went through him and hit another Kennedy. Which is why some people say, oh, the Kennedy curse is real. But it took him and him out, which led to, what's his face? Lyndon B. Johnson to be president, who inherited this whole Vietnam War, this, that, and the other. And he legit got so stressed that he left office. Eventually, he said, I'm not going to keep running for president. I am done. You couldn't pay me to do this. Okay, now going back to Lincoln, because Lincoln's kind of a big one, especially where I'm from, because I'm from the great state of Illinois. Yes, known for our dirt, bombing Hiroshima, Japan, and being broke. The great, great state of Illinois. We're also known for our dirt. We have very nice dirt. Very nice dirt. But, where to start with this one? He was neutral. He wouldn't voice his opinion about slavery when he got into office. Because, believe it or not, he didn't want to start out with slavery. No. He wanted to avoid the topic, actually, because he knew if he spoke his opinion, people would probably rally up and vote against him or vote for him. And one way or the other, it was going to go bad. But you see, he found a neutral ground. He made it sound like he was for it and against it at the same time during his election, to a point where they eventually voted him in. Well, one thing on top of the other, eventually he did get voted in, and then that's when he took a stand. Because at first, it wasn't that bad. He wanted to fix our economy. He wanted to get us out of debt. Because believe it or not, since the beginning, America has legit been in drowning debt. I think we're up to like $7 trillion now. I'm not quite sure the actual number. But yeah, he solved it and he brought it back to zero, which was actually pretty cool. And then one day, on a lucky play, he got shot in the back of the head by John Wilkes Booth. It's like a weird fucking name. Of course, he got shot by that guy. But he got assassinated. But during his presidency, like, he got voted in because he stayed on neutral ground. But because of the Civil War that happened, because the North was against slavery, the North basically fought his side for him. And he basically just chose a side once he was in the office. He was like, slavery's bad, we're going to free it. So he fought and fought and fought, and you should have seen the age toll this took on him, Jesus. And fun fact about Abraham Lincoln, since we're about to pass him, he grew his beard out because he got a letter from a young girl who said, you would look sexy with a beard. Alright, and I'm going to finish this up with two more presidents. I went a little too far in the past with Abraham Lincoln, I think. I could be wrong. Yeah, I did. Theodore Roosevelt. How to start with him? He was the original American badass. Okay, he went outdoors all the time. He was thick, his skin was thick. And he had a wonderful, wonderful mustache. And he believed in the great outdoors, and that's where he was. And in fact, he got shot in the middle of his candidacy speech, I think. Might have been a different speech, but I'm pretty sure it was a candidacy speech. And it hit him in the note cards, and he pulled it out, finished his speech, and then they arrested the man. Which is one of the things he was widely known for, because they're like, wow, this man's a manly man. And when he got in there, he did the national park reserves and all that. And in my opinion, it's kind of cool. He was the original American badass. He liked to ride horses. He liked to be outdoors all the time. You couldn't convince him to go indoors. The good old days. Alright. Now, we got George Washington. Yep, I'm all the way at the down the list because this video has been going on for a while and I'm just ranting on about presidents. George Washington. George Washington was your very, very, very original American badass. I want to fight the Revolutionary War, be a general, then become president. In fact, he was the president who said that a man can only run for president for a total of 8 years. Because eventually John Adams resigned, so he can run for president. But at the same time, George Washington was president for 8 years without a second election, and he just stopped. He said, "No more. I'm resigning. I'm stepping down from president. You can only serve for 8 years." And so it was a battle between Hamilton and John Adams, which then, because of Hamilton's affair, John Adams won. And the thing about this is that the President George Washington was a general. He was an honest man, even though one of his main folk stories is a straight out lie that parents told us. And also, what else? He had a wig, and he was slightly overweight at first. Like, age took its toll on him. He got one of these, a little turkey beard, and all sorts of crap. But he was a good president nonetheless. And he fought, and I can understand why. And that will be all for this video, because I can't possibly rant anymore on about our presidents. Well, I could, but then I'm pretty sure I already lost you guys in this video, because history with me sometimes can be a riot, like the beginning of this, but sometimes it could be, very bad. Because sometimes I actually talk about the historical facts, which some people don't actually like. They like to hear my opinion more than like to hear my facts. Because apparently when I talk, it's very, what's the word? It's very entertaining. And I misspelled forever. Alright. The hashtag of the vid will be USA Forever. I misspelled forever. I apologize. But it's there nonetheless. USA Forever. Like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. If it'll ever freaking go.